Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relatives and relations will learn to accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. Now, with that said, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and since I just got done with Brian on Milky Way Messenger, and thank you to all of the subscribers out there. You are truly a family. And I've been this keeps coming back around to me, and I've been trying to wrap my head around it about that we live in a hollow universe. Okay, well, let me start out with just as I like to do at times, is to read a little definition or two, and let's see if we can kind of bring this idea of holographic universe or reality, or what I would like to maybe consider dream state versus a holographic. But anyway, so with that said, let me jump over here to my good old DuckDuckGo and Wikipedia, and here is the definition. Okay. Holography. Okay, how to make a hologram. A hologram is a physical recording. It's a recording of an interference pattern which uses diffraction to reproduce a three-dimensional light field. In other words, they send it through a prism and they do all these things, and it creates a three-dimensional light field, resulting in an image which retains the depth, parallax, and other properties of the original scene. Holography is the science and practice of making holograms. Now, I did not know this, but holograms have been a dream of tech and entertainment companies as well as consumers ever since Jules Verne first introduced the idea of the technology back in 1893. Just saying. Okay, so if you think this has just been around a couple of years, nah. The development of hologram technology began in 1962 when Yuri Deninsky of Soviet Union and Emmett Leith and Jurastik Upanics at the University of Michigan developed innovative laser technology. Okay, so um, in holography, all of the information required to reconstruct the image is recorded everywhere in the heads-up display window, and this is for like fighter pilots and stuff. Okay, it creates an accurate imaging. All right, so there are holographic USA live theater shows. Okay, so now enough of that. So we're talking about hey, Project Skyfalls. So we're talking about the diffraction of light. Well, so if we live in a holographic universe, as all these people are trying to somehow convince us that we live in, well, I don't know, but I just hurt my knuckle from knocking on that table. There's nothing about that being light. So in our reality, though, what does this mean? Is it a hologram? Maybe what they're trying to explain is that our reality is dreamlike. Oh, it's real, all right. For example, before I started this video, I was thinking, I got mugged one time, and getting punched to the face and sent to the hospital was damn sure real. That wasn't no hologram. That big old gentleman with his giant ass fist left a mark still that's on my nose to this day. And from the attack. So some people say, well, that was just a dream, or that was just something. Oh, hell no, I got bashed in the face and sent to the hospital. So it's like, but let's hang on here. So was that the diffraction of light? I don't think so. It was some kind of 3D solid object that smacked me. So, and it wasn't something that I was intending upon or whatever. I was just at the wrong place at the right time for him. Didn't mean anything, but anyway, But the idea, though, that crap can happen anywhere, so life is a dream. Maybe that's what I'm asking, Project. It's like, is it a hologram? Well, from the true sense of the word hologram, hey, Chloe, we aren't a hologram because we're not some kind of diffraction of light from other sources, are we? Well, if that were true, I could pass my hand through my other hand. That's not happening. If I were a hologram, in the true sense of the definition, that's my point about this. In the true sense of the definition, are we holograms? Well, if that's true, then I should be able to shove this through my hand. Can't do it. Then I'm not a diffraction of light. There must be some kind of form. Now, in our mental state, does it seem dreamlike to me? I don't know. I shoved that pen pretty hard at my hand, still a little, shouldn't have hit it so hard. But no, I can still feel it. But that would be more like a dream state, wouldn't it? Than a hologram. Because I just did it. So how can it be a memory, which is what a hologram is supposed to be? A hologram is a recording of something or an event. So are we all recordings, being played back? Because, I didn't know I was going to jab that thing in my hand. Did the hologram know ahead of time that I was going to do that, poke my hand thingy? Was that pre-programming? Is that predestination? Is this my dream or is this my reality that seems dreamlike? Are you hanging on with this ride? We are not holograms, right, Chloe? Now we may live in a dreamlike world, is what I'm considering. Because now, if now let's back this bus up a little bit. Let me get a little say hi to Bob. Thank you, Bob, for allowing us to be here tonight. Thank all of you, Chloe and Project Skyfalls. But in this idea of a hologram, now let's take it to the level of Star Trek Enterprise. Star Trek Next Generation, where they're interacting, they're kissing and hugging and drinking and singing and dancing with their holograms. Seemed pretty real to me. So is that, by definition now, a hologram? Just asking because I just read you the definition. It's diffraction of light. So if it's a diffraction of light, then it can't be, you know what I'm saying? So it's got to be something more now I get it. It's a TV show. It's a movie. Okay, fine. But people are looking at what they want us to believe, that a hologram is something you can touch. Now, I went to Disney World way back in the day. In fact, I applied for a job when it first opened over there in Orlando. I mean, Space Mountain even wasn't even halfway done yet, kind of thing. But we got a tour and got a chance to go in, and we got a chance to go in the haunted house and all that kind of thing. And in that, back in 71, I think it was 71, they were still kind of working out the bugs with the holograms in the haunted house thing. But you could tell, here are these ghosts dancing down, but up somewhere you could kind of see a little bit of light because they were still, working on it back in those days. Hey, Aurora Rain, Chloe, again, David Castle. Hi, how are you? But so in my discussion about this, are we taking into consideration the true meaning of the definition, or are we taking an interpretation of holograms being going to go to the holodeck on Star Trek, because that cannot be a true hologram in the true sense of our current definition, is my point. Now, can it be something else? Could it be something else? Well, yeah. But by our current definition is that we can't touch this stuff, okay? It's visual, okay? So how can we be a part of a bunch of light beams? I got light coming off of this light, had to change the light bulb this evening. And so it's like, I can see the light, I can shade it to where it's like, okay, you can see the shadow. I know it's there, it produces light, but I can't really feel it per se. My eyes react to different types of light because of TBI, traumatic brain injuries. But to the point though, but it's still light. Is that a hologram up there? No. Is anything in between me and the light a hologram? You know what I mean? No, I can see the light. There's shadows on the table where there are things and stuff, or some things that are silver, reflect like a mirror, blah, 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 blah. But it's still real. Now, so unless they change the definition of hologram, in my humble opinion, then this idea that we live in a hologram is a lie. Okay. Now, could we be living in a dream state? Now, let's talk about that. Because by definition, we can't be in we can't be in a hologram. By definition. No, 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 no. Okay. Update the definition, put it another thing. I'll buy that. Okay. But to this current definition of hologram, that's why my tiny little brain says, no, I don't live in a holographic universe. Could it be a dreamlike scenario with my brain? And I know there's much more. I know there's past. I also know there's future. We were talking about it a little bit, like with on Brian's show. We many of us have had little premonitions of things. I've had some really, God, I try to get those memories out of my brain. They were horrific. But I didn't plan on it. I didn't ask the universe for the information. I was just in tune at certain times when it happened, and there it is. So the information is available to any of us who are in tune to pick up future events or learn about our past events. But is that a hologram? But it is recorded. Now, well, if my past lives are recorded and I can remember them. So, through hypnotism, we can remember our past lives. Really? So we don't have to go anywhere except access our own subconscious. We already have the information. When we were brought down here, when we came into our soul thing, our memory wipe was done by society. When we were little babies, we still retained that knowledge. It was by the time you're 7 years old, which is the first time I had my first Mother Mary encounter, it's kept something alive in me, and not so much with other people because nobody else noticed it. But the idea, though, that, in many cultures, the age of 7, the first 7 years, and if the first 7 years can be nurtured so that you don't forget and you keep that connection with your higher self. I mean, Edgar Casey, if you haven't read anything about Edgar Casey, please do so. You may learn a lot that you're like kind of still stumbling around to try to understand. Edgar did a lot for me back in the late 60s and 70s, and even now. And some of his home remedies and things, oh my God, fix people, from inside out and spiritually and this and that. Oh my God. So, get a book about Edgar Casey. You want to learn about something? Get some of that and some of there's a whole book about some of his concoctions and things and what he prescribed for people with certain ailments. Try them. My God, these people were healed. The sleeping prophet. There were Christians that I knew down here in South Georgia when I first moved up here in early 70s that swore by Edgar Casey. And I mean, these are diehard, Southern Baptist, but you talk bad about Edgar. Oh, honey, they'd throw a whooping on you. So there are a lot of people that believed in Edgar and his teachings and things, and especially his cures. Guess where he got them? In the dream state. So it was in his subconscious. He had someone to help him to ask questions and so forth, but he connected. Did he go anywhere? No, he laid down on the couch. He went into a meditative state, and boom, there it is. Every single one of us has that capability. Every single one of us. So we can access the same information that Edgar did, past, present, and to come. All we have to do is understand that the mystery is we forgot how to do it. That's the great mystery of life. What are we supposed to do every day? Well, are we supposed to is my job to like build a pyramid? No, I don't see the need. From my Native American side of me, I consider it, why would you want to create such an ugly monument? But, hey, live with the planet, live with the earth, and learn about that type of thing. But everybody's got their own soul journey. Everybody's got their own thing that they have to learn in this reincarnation. And if folks don't understand it, yeah, buddy, we have been here before, but some of us ain't learned squat. That's the bottom line. Ain't learned squat. Have you learned not to do this before? Didn't you learn blah, blah, blah? Truth in me. Hi, David Castle. Howdy. Michelle, I just wanted to give shout outs to everybody. But in this realm of people trying to convince us of stuff, you know what I mean? It's like they'll talk about holographic universe and this, that, and the other thing, but they don't read the definition of what it's supposed to mean. So I right away I question people and go, then you're not talking on the level that I'm talking about. You've got a different idea of what hologram means. That's okay. But let's stick with the definition. We are not holograms. Not by the definition. So stop using it. Okay. I mean, seriously. Oh, I'm living in a hologram. No, you're not. I can touch the light shade. I can touch the phone over here. I can clap my hands. Light beams can't clap their hands and not and make a sound. So let's be practical about this. Let's use the terminology the way it's supposed to be used. Now, are we in a dream state? Raise your hand. Yeah. Mandela effects, things changing, timelines morphing in and out. Oh, yeah. But is it a hologram? No, not by definition. Okay. Again, but I am open to expanding that definition or, I don't know, using something else. So that's why I'm using the words plural, the dream state. Truth of me, yes, I agree. We do have it all within us. I swear I'm going to regrow my heart valve. Yes, yes. I made my kidney problems go away. I mean, this still comes around, but I'm living in a 3D with a 4D reality. See, if we understand that there is more complexity than just up, down, and sideways, um, in the 3D, I used to work in AutoCAD and design. I was really good too, but in architecture and in mechanical drawing, and so you have a 3D axis, right? Many of you know about this. So you get your X, Y, and Z. But in the shaman realm, there is X, Y, Z, and then there's the spirit realm, which is beyond the three that we choose to look at. There's more to it. There is that fourth dimension. There's the psi factor, the ESP, all of that stuff comes in. It's not 3D. It can't be. The psychic experiences that we have, the inspirations that we get, that's not 3D. That's four because it's out of this body. It's extraterrestrial. In a way, in that we're experiencing the spirit of things. So there was somebody, I can't remember what it was, that not every living thing has a soul. And I would kind of like slightly argue with that. Why? Because if it's living and breathing and is made up of molecules, it has at least an essence, whether or not it's actually a true soul spirit being. But even my truck has an essence. If somebody wanted to talk bad about my little Mazda truck, I would want to, get into fisticuffs. No, I love my little Mazda. She 277,000 miles. With a lot of original stuff, even though it's hit a deer or two. But to the point though, is that a 3D? No, that's I mean, is that a hologram? No, It's a true something we can hang on to. But we can prove already that the fourth dimension exists because we have dreams. Many of us have dreams that some of us, unfortunately, some of these dreams come true. And so as we experience this, but is that a hologram though? No, because I still wake up. I still have to put my feet on the floor to go pee, you know? And if I was in a hologram, I wouldn't have to worry about getting up to go pee. That would be a blessing in and of itself. But to the point though, then it must be, it can't be a hologram then. I cannot be a hologram. You can't be a hologram. Well, maybe you could. This format is a hologram in so many ways, but is our life? No. So let's get off of that. I think you probably see my point. Now, is it dreamlike? Is it weird? Is it others? Oh yeah. Does it get funky at times? You betcha. You know, when scenes like change right in front of you and you go, what was that? You know, I have talked about it before and seeing things like fly in front of the truck, you know, and it's like, what the hell was that thing? You know, it wasn't it didn't look 3D. I've taken pictures of orbs and stuff, you know, those of you who've been on around with me on my channel, you know, and if you've just subscribed, go check out some of the videos I did about with the orbs and stuff. Some pretty interesting pictures. And so, you know, for folks to like deny that they exist or that, you know, there isn't something else out there, in my opinion, now it's almost pathetic because there's so much hard evidence. That's what I mean by pathetic. Well, I just don't believe in that stuff. Well, have you? It's just a picture. Well, you took a picture and sent it to your aunt Mabel, and she saw you doing it. Well, that's a picture. Well, so this is a picture too. Well, you must have done something to it. No, I didn't. But you must have. That can't exist. Well, okay. And for some of those folks, you're just not be able. You know, you can't fix stupid. But that's kind of sort of true. But you can always pray that they will have a 111, 1211 here. Thank you, Chloe. And greetings if I didn't say hi before. Did I miss anybody? Truth of Me says, I had a friend say it incredibly clearly today. Being in the forest and in nature is more like 5D and 4D, and being in a city is 3D. I would agree with that. I really will. I really would. Now, there's someone years ago did a science show, and they were like, you know, we see the up and the down and the sideways, but what about the ant who's crawling upside down on a limb? Does the ant know that he's upside down? And I thought, what a strange prospect to put forward. But I've been watching ants, and you know, I've been living in nature all my life. You know, almost 40 years here on this place. So, you know, the forest, I live like right on the edge of it, right there, literally right out my back door. And so it's like, well, wait a minute. So I watch nature all the time, and it has taught me a lot. And the connection, and earlier when I was on Brian's show, I can't remember who called in, but the lady was talking about that she had planted a garden and she was starting to connect. And it's like, you know, bravo. I mean that sincerely. But when you start interacting with nature, like planting and feeding and nurturing something, even if it's just a house plant, you got some aloe, good for burns, also good for internal things and stuff. But to the point though, but you learn about nurturing and you're sharing and the energy and the thingy. Oh my goodness, it's all connected. So, the idea, though, that it's just a bunch of light being bounced off of something. No, not in my reality. Could holograms exist in my reality? Yeah. But if you trying to explain to me that a hologram is something I can touch, then you must change the definition. That's all I'm saying. But dreamlike, oh yeah, raise my hand. And you know, hey y'all, dreamlike state, oh yeah. I mean, there are times when I went to work and worked all day long and did my thing and drove home and did my thing, got up the next day and day after day after day. And, doesn't that kind of seem dreamlike after a while? You keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's your daily life, but after a while, you repeat it. So I've said to people before, instead of getting up and brushing your teeth and combing your hair, comb your hair and then brush your teeth, or do something out of sync. You still do the things you need to do, but do them out of sync. If you do them in the same damn order every time, you're in a rut. You can get the same things done, but go do this first and then come back and then do. But if you're doing the same damn thing 1, 2, 3, 4 every single time, break the chain, because there's something else wrong in there. Seriously, there's something else wrong. But and you need to like just do a self check and go, wait a minute. I mean, I vary the sugar in my coffee. And sometimes I put the milk in first, and then sometimes I put the sugar in first. And sometimes I don't add any sugar, but I add a little extra milk. So my coffee is never the same twice in a row. Close, but to the point though. Tree of Life, hi, how are you? But to just break it up a little bit keeps you from being in this in the dream state. To me, it brings me out of the dream state to go, wait a minute, I choose to put milk in first instead. Well, I always do it this way. 1, 2, in the stirry. You always do it that way. Are you in a rut or what? Just saying. Your life may be dreamlike in that you must do the same steps over and over and over, dreamlike, zombie-like. You know what I mean? So with that said, though, is that still a hologram? By definition, I continue to say no, unless you change the definition. So what's next? Um, can we change our hologram? Well, I still haven't figured out how to walk through a wall yet, and don't actually know if I really need to know that trick. But I know I've learned it in the astral plane, but I mean physically, like be able to just like chunk. Now that'll be the trick when I learn that one. And somebody might say, "Well, Hawkeye, why do you want to walk through a wall?" Just to say I could. That's all. I walked through that wall. Can you believe it? For the experience, the knowledge of being able to transform yourself so that you could, you know, literally walk between the molecules of that block. Well, it's a block wall, so or I could walk through the glass, and but to rematerialize or become one with that thing to where you could just pass right through it. Whoa! Talk about a high level of understanding and control, and you know what I mean. But anyway, that is like my higher goal. But I know that I'll be able to do that when I pass over to the next realm when this body's done. So hey, and I've had a chance to fly around with my spirit self, so I get the idea. But in my 3D realm, the ultimate would be like to be able to accomplish that. Anyway, moving on. Hi, Candy. Blessings to you. And cosmic hugs all around. You are all family. I swear you are. Thank you so much for being a part of it with yourselves and with me and with Brian and Miss Deb and all y'all, to all of us. Thank you. But anyway, so yes, it kind of nags me. It kind of gets stuck on my crop. A holographic new we live in this. No, sorry. It's sort of like, I get what they're kind of talking about in that, well, it's sort of dreamlike. Well, then use dreamlike. Don't use hologram. Well, it's, like, to me, this is my impression. Some of the folks that are absolutely positively flat earthers, God bless them. But in my reality, I just can't go there. I cannot understand it. In their reality, they cannot understand me believing that the earth is still round, or that it is at all. But it's because of my observations of the universe with my own two eyes, which people say, well, those stars up there, they're not really there. They're a hologram. I've been watching them all of my life, 60 years at least. because I'm 67. So, I was a Cub Scout and, and outside all the time and watching the stars in the sky. And hang on here. I've got 60 years of observation, and you want to tell me I've been looking at a light project that I've actually been sitting in a planetarium. I there was a planetarium at the University of South Florida. Used to go all the time. I've been in a planetarium. The sky out there ain't a planetarium. So, but it's light and it's made up and okay, in your reality, it's okay. I'm not going to try to waste my time to convince you. I think it's more than that, but that's okay. I will allow you because in your reality, that's a true fact. Maybe a little, odd to me, but my points of view are odd to other folks. So how can I can't judge anybody else without first judging myself and go, well, that's your opinion, okie dokie, but I'm not going to curse you because you're my old self would have said, I think you're a damn fool for believing in the flat earth, but I don't go there anymore. You have to be if you're going to become a better spiritual person, then you have to step above and beyond some of that mamby-pamby stuff. And arguing about flat earth, round earth is mamby-pamby in the long run. Okay. We have to look at the whole picture, whether it's whether it's flat or it's round, doesn't matter. But anyway, but to the hologram thing. Now let's discuss dream state. Hmm. Now, there are many Native American shamans, and I've met a couple of really wowzer people. And in the dream walk, which sometimes with peyote or mushrooms or some type of hallucinogenic, you walk in the dream world. Now, I've walked in the dream world more times than I should have, probably. And but to the point though that the dream walk is just that. It seems real, but it is still the dream. Now, I could, go out in the woods and hallucinate and meditate and otherwise cogitate. And if I'm not careful, especially if I was like taken with the spirit, if you will, I don't mean possessed, but I mean just by an entity, but I mean just the whole spirit of the universe and the thing, and it's sort of like wow, a nirvana for a short period. Hey, Candy Apple, how are you? But with that, I could still get physically hurt. I mean, if I got up and I was in my dream state dancing and okay, there's a fire there. And I've had a sort of a similar incident happen with me back when I was learning my shaman stuff. And I had a shaman watching me to just kind of keep an eye on because, as a novice, you need to have somebody keep an eye on you, make sure you don't get yourself into trouble, which is what the whole thing was about. And so, but anyway, I realized that I had stumbled, but in my dream state, I wasn't hurt. But when I came out of the dream state, I had stepped on a stem sticking up out. We'd cleared the area and tried to make it, but there was this little piece of stump sticking up from a bush, and I stepped on it and it went right through my moccasins and into my foot. I did not feel it during the time, but afterwards it hurt for weeks, and I it wouldn't heal, and it was like whoa. I mean, just poked right through my foot, well, into my foot. So it's like, well, in my dream state, didn't feel a thing. Didn't even know that it had happened. Might have felt a little nudge in my foot. But then when I came out of that higher state reality, and no, I wasn't smoking nothing or nothing, there was no hallucinogenics involved. This was simply meditation and prayer and ceremony. That's all. But man, when it comes in and it takes you over, you just don't feel that kind of thing. So, but anyway, But so when coming down out of that and coming back to Earth to the full 3D, if it were a hologram, how come my foot was infected for, days? It just how come it happened at all? If I was a hologram, my foot should have just passed right through that little stump and I wouldn't have got hurt at all. You know what I mean? But in this dream state, I didn't know it was there. Didn't feel the pain. Did not know that, So can the two exist at the same time? Oh, you betcha. And without any kind of hallucinogenics, you can achieve it on your own, and it depends on where you want to go with this. But to the point, though, some would say that I was possessed by my inner self, that I was taken over by the shaman within me because it took over with the ceremony and the dancing and the thingy. But to the point, though, when you're having a good time, I mean, back in the day when we used to play ragtag football, and we played some hellacious football. I mean, we got hurt. The thing was, it was play. And I mean, we were bruised and beaten. We'd make gang tackles, Oh my God. Um, you know, Jumping up for the ball and two guys hit you and knock you sideways and all that, which is all that's illegal now in pro ball and stuff. But to the point, it really hurts. I've had my leg broken in football, so I'm well aware of things like that. But to the point, though, about this, though, it seems dreamlike. It was like, wow, we played football. Oh, a really good game, wasn't it? But it was over. And the pains and the things and the swelling and the bruises showed up the next day. You didn't see them at the time. And yeah, you kind of limped home and rode your bike home, from the lot. And you didn't really get it. But then the next day when the 3D reality kicked in, it was all you could do to like, I can't pick up my bike. It's heavy. Hey, Millie Cow, how are you? Um, Been lurking, taking care of mom, but still listening. Yeah, Candy, Apple, let's all send a cosmic hug. Candy, Apple, and mom. There you go. Cheers. Um, but the idea though that, there are oh man, I can't think of it now. They're like Jewish dancers and they get into the thingy and, but anyway, but any type of long-term dance, for example, um, there's a stomp dance by the turtle clan. Back in the day, they would put empty turtle shells and close them in with some kind of hide or something, and fill them full of rocks or shells or beads, depending on where they were from. But they would do a stomp dance, and it when you started the stomp dance, sometimes it would last for hours, and I mean they don't stop. They keep dancing, and it's chunk chunka 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 chunka. And if you're weak, the others will hold you up. They all get together, and the first time I saw it, I was like, these people are nuts. They're nuts. And so every time I saw, the stomp dance, and I watched, and then I started, I started learning myself. These people are really into this thing. They're like spiritually high while they're doing this thing. And I talked to a couple of the people afterwards, and I got to know some of the dancers later on and understood that, oh my God, how spiritual it really is. And all the people that are dancing are committed to the dance and committed to helping the other one to dance and to think. And oh my God, at the transition, but you don't feel the pain. You're tired, but then it's sort of like a runner's high. You know what I mean? But anyway, so in that, but is that holographic? No, not in my opinion. Is it dreamlike? Oh yeah, thumbs up on that one. Um, our reality starts to go between the veils when we go into our own dream state, when we go to sleep or in meditation. I mean, I've had some times when I swear, not high or anything, just out and feeling good and sit down with a tree and not necessarily trying to like get into some kind of higher consciousness or nothing, but just sit down, meditate with a tree, thank a tree, give it a hug, sit down beneath it, just relax. And sometimes the most exciting, weird, strange um events, dreamlike state happen, you know, um, without warning, So it's like, but trees are giant antennas when you understand that. But anyway, so enlightenment can come to us when we least expect it. And the more we try to understand who we are, just as ourselves, not we as a collective per se, but it does mean that when we share our stories and when we learn that other people are having very similar things, and I'm trying. Really, it's not about me, but it's about the subject. But I've talked about some of these things for a long time, and keeping with your core self. And when you clean up you, all kind of other things start happening, and awarenesses and fulfillments and healing. And I was in a wheelchair. I keep looking back and thinking, man, I shouldn't even be here. But I refuse to give up. I'm a stubborn old cuss. But I'm still working on it. And it's a daily thing. And today was a little slow, but it was rainy and cloudy. And I worked on the trailer yesterday and flipped that damn thing over by myself. I was a little sore. But to the point, though, that but tomorrow's another day, and I look forward to it, regardless of what it is. So I don't have any fear in it. I don't. I'm going to try to do whatever I can in a positive way tomorrow. And but am I going to worry like, well, I don't know, what about this or what about that or blah 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 blah? Nope. I'm just going to put forth my intent that I'm going to do the best I can every time I can. And sometimes we're slow. Sometimes we're a little cranky and codgety. That's okay. But we need to recognize that. And you know what? I'm a little cranky today. Maybe I should just stay to myself, not be off putting or anything like that, but maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. You know, that's higher learning. Because there are times that I'm like, I'm grumpy to myself. I don't even like me. I'm like, who the hell came inside here and made me grumpy today? I got up on the wrong side of the couch, for God's sake. What's happened? But I have to just stop and go, in the old days, I would have let that grouchy son of a bitch take over my whole day, maybe even a week or a month. We got to understand that. And we have to take control of ourselves and see that as for what it is. It's dreamlike. Who is that nasty some bitch that I woke up as today? Who pissed you off during your dream state? Uh, Talking about myself. But to the point, though, I bet you've had an experience at least once in your lifetime, like I woke up in the strangest mood, whether it was cranky or not, or what you know what I mean. But with that said, hologram, nah. Dream state, maybe. Is the whole planet in a dream state? You're a part of mine right now. I'm a part of yours right now. But is John Smith in Puerto Rico who's on vacation in the same way? I don't think so. Unless John Smith is in Puerto Rico watching this video. But with that said, though, so we are participating, but is everybody else? No. We are all participating in the universe at the same time. Like I said in a video the other day about puzzle pieces. So we're all puzzle pieces, but we're all part of the big picture. We all matter. Can you imagine Mother Earth if she was just missing a piece? I mean, just missing a piece. You know what I mean? So if and we can choose how the picture is going to look. because of our intent. There are those who would like to make it look their puzzle. I choose to stay in my little dream state and say, I have to participate with you guys up to them. You know what I mean? I have to participate up to a point because I get my food and I get my this and I get my that. And, so I'm kind of sort of dependent on them. So I'm not going to just openly piss them off, like, well, you guys suck. Yeah, okay, then just shoot me. No, like when I was in jail, you don't piss off the guard. He'll have a lot of fun when he strip searches you. Don't piss off the guard. I'm sorry. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. But it don't mean that you got to just give in and be submissive, but you might not have to get along, and you might have to grit your teeth. But at the same point, you can still stay who you are. It's their dream they want us to be a part of. Think about it. The virus thingy and all this other thingy and the this thingy and that thinking, it is part of the world, round or flat. It is a part of the world. It is what's happening right now, but it's their dream state they want us to be a part of. It ain't holographic if you're going to get sick and start coughing and have a respiratory ailment. Done that enough in my lifetime. So, we've all had some kind of breathing issue, I bet you, at some point or another. So we get it. So, but there are folks who are already so susceptible that if some kind of virus, not necessarily that one, that could take any one of us out. I talked about my nephew a couple of years ago, working fine, a good strapping boy of 30, 31 years old, got a youngin', just married, doing well, has straightened himself out, he got out of jail and turned his whole life around, and he got sick with the flu and he was dead in 5 days. Some kind of strange thing down in Tampa, or in Dade City area, but down that way. But nothing wrong with him. Never been sick like that before. Got ill over the weekend. By Wednesday, he was dead. So, and that wasn't some kind of coronavirus. That was just something going around. Oh, it's very rare. Well, isn't this? You know? So the idea that there's already stuff here to worry about. But what do? We stay healthy as we can. We keep an eye on each other. If somebody needs a little help one day, maybe we help to pick up the load, or we bring them chicken soup or whatever it is to help them keep healthy, or one another. Keep each one of us healthy, and spiritual help too, and healthiness. Because if your spirit is down and depressed, you're going to feel like crap on the outside. We all know what depression can do to us, and so we need to stay out of that. So, but is that holographic? When I'm upset and when I'm depressed, I feel it. It ain't got nothing to do with diffraction of light. Is it a dream state? I would agree with that. Is it my own creation? A lot of times, in my depression, when I had to crawl into a grave and look up to say, now this is as low as I can get, and crawl back out. And when I made up my mind about that, then all things started changing within me. But the idea, though, that I said, wait a minute, I don't want this dream. I have a different dream. Well, things worked out differently. You got, they gave you, grand mal seizures, and they put you in a wheelchair, and yeah, them sons of bitches, I hate them. Well, I was so distraught about what they had done. I wasn't actively working to try to get better. Now, this has been my progression over the years and coming out of the ailment. But this has just been a couple of years ago in my lifetime. So it's not like a previous or happened to me a long time. No, 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 no. I'm still working on this. But is it still dreamlike? Yes. Sometimes I go back to what the seizure thingy. I don't like it. Bright lights flashing. Oh, close my eyes. because it'll send me there without my permission. And so I have to be careful. But in that sense, it's light. And oh, let me tell you, when they do the flashing light and give you the seizures, that light hurt me. I still hurt from it. And that's why a lot of people are light sensitive. When they say they hurt from the light, they're not joking. So if somebody says, "Well, I'm light sensitive," don't brush it off. For a long time, I was telling people that I was light sensitive. Oh, that's bullshit. You're just trying to make up. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. Well, I'm light sensitive. Well, you're light sensitive, and he's like, did you know that Aunt Sally was light sensitive? And then all of a sudden, well, maybe you're not. Well, we know that you're weird, Dave, but okay, well, maybe we'll accept that part about the light sensitivity thing. But to the point though, so everybody has to understand it's always more than what we think it is, because we're only thinking in this 3D reality. When we go into our dream state, more things are possible. So can we make our dreams what we want? Is that the manifesting of things? Kind of, sort of. Like Brian and I discussed, and we need to continue to discuss it, because manifesting something doesn't mean that you can get it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you should get it right now. And it was discussed this evening, as one of the callers pointed out, that there was something that they were talking about, and then 6 months later it happens. You have to understand that the universe, there's a bigger plan. And are we predestined? No, because I could choose not to finish the trailer. I wanted the trailer to put the kayaks on so I could offer people kayak rides. Come on, let's go kayaking. I can put all 3 kayaks on the trailer and not have to unload them every god dog time, and put my boat stuff in the trailer. And I could do other stuff with the trailer, but to the point, that was like my dream, right? Well, it's slowly manifesting. Is it done yet? No. Rain today. Took a day off. But to the point though, I've been wanting this for years. Years and years and years and years. Now it's manifested now. Okay, what does that mean? It means I'm going to finish this part of the dream. It means I'm going to follow it up. Do I know what's going to happen next? Not a clue. But now I have this, which was part of my original plan all along. We'll see where it leads. I'll just put it out there. And I keep telling folks, if you're in the neighborhood, let's go kayaking. If the water's any nice, let's get on the water. Right now it's a little high, but I still want to get on the water. But anyway, so the manifestation of things, you have to understand, just because you want it doesn't mean that necessarily that the universe wants it. There's a time and a place for everything. And is it predestined? God, I hate to use that word, but I do think there's a bigger plan. And we should do our best to kind of roll with the punches. If you're going down a really bumpy road and you try to just be stiff, you're going to be like jarred. But if you kind of go with the bumps and you doodly do, it ain't near as bad. You know what I mean? So same thing with, like I've been talking about for a long time about, the energy waves coming in, and we're going to be going up one day and down the next. Make sure that you're secure in your inner tube, in your reality, in your dream state. Make sure you're secure in your little inner tube. No matter where you float up or down, you're going to be safe. Whatever dream state that you're in, whether it's reality or an actual dream state, but be secure in the knowledge I've got my life preserver on, and I may go under, but I'm going to pop back up. Interesting. My friends, I love you. I do. David Castle, thank you always. Millie Cow, I'm lucky to still be capable of happiness and creating it, but I still do feel some level of depression and anxiety, and it's been with me for a few years now. My friend, and I mean this with the utmost, because I had to go through it. You followed me, Millie Cow, for a while, and you've heard my conversations, but you gotta shake it off. I'm sorry. There's nothing else that can be said. That the depression, and there are certain things I have to just shake it off. And I have to tell myself out loud, Hawkeye, shake it off, man. Shake it off. Shake it off. You gotta let the other side win. The depression is horrible. I went through years of depression and psychotic drugs and antipsychotic drugs and all that. But the bottom line is you got to say, no more. I refuse to let this take me over and say, shake it off. Well, this depresses me. No, it doesn't. It irritates the crap out of me. Change the word. I stopped using the word depression, for example, and say, well, I'm in a different mood today. But before I'd say, I feel really depressed and shitty. I would say, I'm in a different mood today. So I started out by stop using the word depression and started using, well, I'm in a different mood today. Well, then I started looking and say, well, what kind of mood you in? Do you like this mood? Well, no, I don't like this mood. Well, then get out of it. To myself. Well, I don't like this mood. Well, then quit being that way. Put your foot down and be the grown up in the room in here and say no to this shit. Stop being depressed. It's your own damn fault. This is, boy, the conversations I've had in here. But there's that one of me, of my tribe of me, that wants to be this depressed SOB. And the camp counselor finally got a vote, and the rest of them said, we can't take this guy anymore. Tell him to shut up, or lock him in a closet or something. He's affecting the rest of us, And I was like, boy, talk about having a conversation with yourself. But it was true for my own self. And there are those people where you go, well, I just feel depressed today. Oh, well, stop using the word. Well, but I am. I'm depressed. Well, you're going to talk yourself right into it. But I am. Well, why don't you say that you aren't? But I am. But maybe So, and I used to be this way. So I can argue with myself on this. But I realized, wait a minute, I'm talking myself into this to be depressed. Well, I am depressed. No, you're in a quirky mood. Well, no, you're depressed. Oh, shut up. But you're in a self to self. Hang on. That's where absolute brutal truth needs to come in. Oh, holy crap. Maybe I am talking myself into this mood. Oh, shit. But I've seen people go, well, I'm not really doing that. When later on, you know damn well and good they are, because they're like, put your hands on your hips and they go like this. I mean, I'm not really doing that. You're trying to get calm down, but you're talking yourself right into it. And you're making it even worse by trying to convince me that you are. And I'm trying to help you by saying, maybe it ain't so bad. Come on, smile a little bit. No, leave me alone. I'm depressed. Okay. If you're choosing to be that way, then I lived that way for 15 years, 20 years. So, but when I made the choice to not be that way any longer and to recognize that feeling when it started to come over me, I'd go, you got about 10 minutes here to be depressed. And then we're changing this story. We're changing this dream, because I refuse to be this way the rest of the frickin' day, because there's a little part of me that wants to go back to being depressed. Oh, hell no. And I say it out loud too. Oh, hell no. You ain't having me today. And I know Miss Deb has heard me several times. I'm like, this ain't happening. I may feel like this for the moment, but you can't have the rest of my day. I refuse. And so in that right there, by denying yourself the right to be depressed, I've had enough. Each one of us has got their own straw that broke the camel's back. Hey, Zach Moon, how are you? Cosmic hugs and blessings all around. But I've been in the mental health thing. I've had some really great counselors. And I've been around a lot of crazy people. They even Baker acted me one time and threw me in the local crazy house, which is closed now. But in the local crazy house, it made me stay there for 3 days until I was evaluated. But anyway, but so yes, I've been the route. And I'm here to tell you, Don't, if you're on their drugs, get off of them, because you will never be your sane self if you're taking their stuff. You just won't be. And I had to get off all of it. I mean, many of you have been around me long enough, and I've talked about my withdrawals and so forth. But if you want to be who you are, you've got to stop taking their stuff. I don't mean just quit. If you're on it, wean yourself off, but get off of it. You cannot be sane when you're taking their crazy pills. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen, because you don't have control. The drugs do. And that makes you susceptible to anything and energies and stuff. It puts you in their dream state so that you're manageable. Don't they use that word in mental health? And oh, we want to keep their condition manageable. Think about it. They want to manage us, our mental health, and we're going to manage you so that we can think about it. Look, wow, one of these days I should just do a whole video just about mental health and stuff. And Millie Cow, I'm not sure if it was you that we were, or maybe it was Zed. I'm not sure. Anyway, we were talking about some of these things about, depression and certain things. And anyway, maybe that needs to be a separate show. But tagging it along with this topic for discussion, you take control of your dream state. Don't let them convince you you must accept theirs. Even when I was in jail, yeah, I'm behind bars, but I was still in my own head. Okay. I was writing stories, I was doing stuff. Yeah, I got up and had to go work in the kitchen, and yeah, listen to the guard. Yeah, I did all that. Okay, fine. But I was still me. There were other people that became part of the system. I got out of it. So we can make a choice. Is your dream state, you can manipulate it. You can't manipulate their dream state. That's where we get so frustrated and depressed, because somehow we're not fitting in with their dream state. Hologram? See, it still don't fit. But dream state, a dream-like condition, a zombified world of, whatever. Yeah, but holographic, still not, it still doesn't fit. Follow me? Because of the light thingy and the phone and. So, but continuing on with, that's why I still don't think it's holographic. Dream state, absolutely. And they can create these dream states with electronics. They can give thought waves with beams and stuff. They can give the heart attack machine. They can make us feel nauseous. They can do the sound things and make our eardrums pop. They can do all kinds of stuff. But is it holographic? No. Is it dreamlike, dream state? Yes. Because they're creating something which seems dreamlike to us. Does it feel real? Well, so I've been in some of my dreams that felt way too damn real. I wanted out of that thing. But with that said, though, but it felt real because it was a personal experience. But I can't experience a personal hologram because it's nothing but light. I can't touch it, feel it, smell it. I can only see it. Think about it. Can you hear a hologram? No. Do they make noises? No. Only the recording does. But does the hologram make a noise? No. But could you hear a noise in a dream? Yeah. Could a dream state manifest a voice or a noise or the ocean? How many times have you been in a dream or something, and you could actually smell the ocean or feel the air or something? Was that real to you? So is that a hologram? No, because by a holographic means, it means that you wouldn't be able to feel the air or smell the ocean. But in a dream state, absolutely. So folks that keep using this, we live in a holographic world. I have to just throw my hands up and go, no, we don't. But could we live and do we live in a dream state, dream-like kind of world? I would agree. Okay. In that everybody's trying to project their own dream to us. Well, dream a little dream of me. Oh, I dreamt of this, and my dream is to have $1 million. My dream is to have a new car. My dream is to have it. Get it? The dream. Ah. But is it holographic? I'm going to pound this one into the ground, right? But I just don't see it as holographic. Another state? Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're trying to project it upon us, much like a hologram could be, but it doesn't fit the clinical definition. I keep going back to that. Now, dreamlike, sure. Realistic, yes. Do they pass stuff right in front of us? I mean, those of us who still remember the 9/11 thing, I still don't believe that what happened happened. It's just wrong, you know? Did they fake us out on that one? You betcha. They may have used a hologram in that instance, but it put us all into a dream state, not into a holographic state. People jumped out of buildings. Things fell on people. It crushed people. The buildings disintegrated, left holes in the ground. Just saying. So have they put us in a dream state? You betcha. Are they trying to continue it? Yes. All these drugs, all these pharmaceuticals, mental health, manageable care. What we need to manage is somebody to sit down. The best help I ever had in mental health care was a good, honest to God counselor. I was like, I wouldn't need this medicine if I had a good counselor. Well, what do you mean? Well, when I felt like this, people say, well, first thing to do, have you been taking your meds, Mr. Dave? Well, how did you feel last week? Did you take your thingy? Have you been to see the psychiatrist? What have you, but I've got this issue. Please help me figure out how to get out of this. I'm having these reoccurring dreams. Don't want them. Take another pill, Mr. No. You'll feel fine. Let me know how you feel next week. Time's up, by the way. Bye. Thank you. What else do you say, right? But to the point, though, people helping people, even here in this chat room, people helping people with conversations. And, I had this crazy dream and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I don't think you're crazy. If I told some of these dreams to some of my counselors, they would have upped the dosage of my meds. So they want me to be in their dream state, not mine, because my reality was like, oh, holy crap. I can actually take pictures of some of the things I've been seeing. I told you I saw that. I told you. Now here's a picture. But, okay. And on some of the topics that I've discussed in my YouTube, and I'm not trying to profess that I know anything. Every one of us has this capability, but I've brought up topics and put it right in my description of the YouTube videos, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, it's almost like people start talking about that, puzzle pieces and things, and then people talking about something like that's fine. It's not that I care, but it's this information's available to all of us, and maybe I'm just paying a little bit more attention to some of these things. I get warning signs for certain things and go, let's talk about this thing here. And it's like, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but it's coming back around. They're trying to convince us we're in a freaking hologram, and we're not. Are we in a dream state? Highly likely, because of all the above. The chemtrails? Do we really know what's in them suckers? No. We could be all living in a big foggy dream. That is possible in my realm. Holographic? Nope. Sorry, doesn't fit. But my friends, that's my opinion. And I'm going to put my glasses on and read back up a little bit because I have really been trying not to pay attention so I can get my crankiness out. This conversation has been building for a while, and I've just been kind of holding back because there were certain things in like I wanted to make the difference between, well, dream state, this state, what is that other state that I would agree seems to be happening, but at the same time it just not fit the hologram thing. But anyway, so um thank you, Michelle. I've been doing great staying focused, and thank you all for hanging out. Once in a while weed helps my creativity. All the time weed helps my creativity, but anyway. Millie Cow says, smoking every day, it makes me feel numb and slowly feel more dead inside. Then I'm sorry, brother, but you're smoking the wrong stuff. Because I get some and I'm like, I'm ready to go outside and go, you know, run through the woods half naked, you know, kind of thing. Just, but anyway, um, Truth of Me says, I'm going to guess you have some amazing things you could share. Wait a minute, somebody else. Yeah, the meds will numb your heart. Yeah, it will make you a non-caring. Depending on the meds, it will make you non-caring and cold and yucky. Oh God. Oh yucky. Yeah, 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 yeah. Zach Moon, a dream has emotions, a hologram has none. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you that you got what I'm talking about. Thank you. There is no meat to it. Yeah. Um, Millie Cow says, I have lots of experience and emotion to write about, but I'm rarely creative enough to actually make anything good of it. Now, here's the thing, Millie Cow. You have put enough stuff in chat rooms just on my channel alone. I'm sure you could write a damn book or a short story. So you do have creativity. You don't know where the outlet is. So to say, well, I'm rarely creative enough to actually make anything good of it. You're being creative right now, just in how you used your phraseology, and how you put your words. So don't cut yourself short. Anyway, just saying, you know. Uh, let's see. Truth of me, I agree. Says Millie Cow. I think my ups and downs give me an experience of depth that can inspire a lot of art. However, suffering isn't necessary to be an artist. Suffering stifles creativity. Not necessarily. It See, Millie Cow, it's the suffering. I've suffered, but I've gotten creative because of it. It has inspired me to like tell a story, or share an experience about drowning or near death experience. So but it gives you an opportunity though. So I think you're just selling yourself short. You're looking for excuses, Millie Cow. As my therapist would tell me, Dave, you're looking for excuses not to get her done. But I can't. I'm depressed. My creativity is being stifled. This was me, and that was the good therapist. And she looked at me, and she said, "But don't you realize you have to be brutally honest with yourself? Have you lost your creativity?" Now I was on some drugs that did some crappy stuff. But to the point though, I was allowing the depression to choose how I felt. And she kept saying, you have a choice. And I was so depressed and so in the dream world, I didn't get it. But when I finally did, I was like, oh, holy crap. Why didn't I get this up? I kind of sort of understood it. But when you're in that depressed moment, You can't feel that. Wait a minute. You're telling me I got a choice? Oh, bullshit. I ain't got no choice. I'm depressed. Stop that. But when you are able to control that depression and throw it out and go, you know what? Get thee behind me, Satan. You know what I mean? With the depression stuff, get thee behind me. But when you and stomp your foot and say, "Get out of here," and choose something. Wait a minute. What'll make me happy today? When the depression or the nasties want to come in, I start looking around. Wait a minute. I just need it. Something needs to change my focus for a minute. Well, I'll just go outside and look for woodpeckers then. I'll go outside and plunder around in the shed. I'll go out and feed the damn chicken and collect an egg or two, and we'll have a little chicken person conversation. I'll go outside and look at the garden. I'll do something to get me out of it. As soon as I feel it wants to try to come in, nah, bye bye. Change your focus immediately. And if you don't know what it is, pick up a book, do anything. But as soon as when the reoccurring thought comes, but I'm depressed, say, no, you're not. You're just in a strange mood. You gotta change your, when you start right there and you convince yourself, I'm not really depressed, I'm just in a strange mood. My creativity is not being stifled, it's just a little asleep right now. When you change how you look at it from inside yourself, you will change you. You will feel the changes. It will be automatic. But if you continue on with, and it's about anything, well, I can't, I've tried diets before. I'll never lose weight. There you go. You're never going to lose weight because you keep reminding yourself that you'll never lose weight. Raining again. Wow, interesting. But I'm always depressed. Well, because you keep reminding yourself. Stop it. You're your worst enemy. Well, I don't. I always feel so. Well, then don't. Make up. Write down a thing. When I get like this, I'm going to be like this, and write down something when you're in a really good mood. And so it's like, well, I'm depressed. Well, put it on the damn wall. When you get depressed, read this and read it and then do it. You know, you shall not be depressed. You shall find another focus. You shall get yourself out of your crappy mood and you will take control of yourself and say, I'm not going to feel this way. I'm going to make a choice. It really is raining again. How about that? But so anyway, my friends, and Millie Cow, I look, 20 years easy I suffered with mental health issues and all of the things and the meds and all that. So Zach Moon, I went back up a little bit further. I think the idea of a hologram works for them in the way it pushes the young into thinking we are in a computer. I absolutely agree. And that's my point about it depends on your definition of hologram. So, and their definition of hologram under the current, readings of what a hologram is, doesn't fit in my world. I love you too, Truth in Me. Thank you so much. Millie Cow says, I get what you guys mean. Sometimes they think I've had enough, so I just decide to stop feeling bad and I feel better for it for a while, but then doubt creeps back in. See, of all the things that you need as stability, Millie Cow, is to say, well, here it comes again. But you know what? After a while, if you've really had enough, you're just going to say, no, I'm not going to step on a nail again. No, I'm not going to. It's like stabbing yourself in the hand with a knife. How many times do you want to go through this before you say no? I mean, inside. I know it took me years to finally go, no, stop this, Dave. And then Hawkeye came in and said, listen, if Dave's going to act like this, we're going to become Hawkeye because Hawkeye don't put up with this stuff. Hawkeye says, this is not in my realm. Depression is not in my life. So Dave, when I made my transition, is like, he's the depressed son of a bitch. I'm the spirit guy that came out of Dave. I'm Hawkeye because I refuse to go into the things that Dave used to do. If that makes any sense in this split personality kind of weirdness. But it's the old me versus the new me. Basically, it's the guy who used to be depressed. It's the guy who used to be living their crappy crap. And then I said, sorry, I choose differently. So now, as Hawkeye, I am the spiritual side of me. Dave's still in here, but when that cranky son of a bitch wants to go swinging, group therapy says, shut up and sit down. Where we've had enough of some of your nonsense, like depression and certain things like that. So, yeah, I'm a little weird up here in the head. You know what I mean? Wow, did I cause a big hoopla? Channel the collective consciousness. The more times Millie Cow says, the more times we repeat something, the more clearly we see it, so we can break the cycle. If we're paying attention, I think I'm paying attention, maybe too much attention, overthinking. Yes, you can overthink it. And that was one of my problems with my depression was, well, I don't know why I feel this way. When I realized it didn't matter. Well, I feel a little upset today. Okay, so deal with it. But I don't know why. Well, then I started getting into like, well, there's solar energies coming in, there's cosmic energies, there's the Shaman. And then all of a sudden, why I felt a particular way one day could literally be the cosmos messing with me or us collectively. So it's like, wait a minute, maybe some of this stuff is literally out of my control, but I have to get in my little inner tube and take these waves as they come, So it's like, whoa, really high and feeling good today. Tomorrow is like, son of a bitch, I can't get off the couch. Oh my God, I ain't got no energy, but I'm not going to be depressed about it. I'm just going to go, well, it's one of them days. Tomorrow's going to be better because I choose to. But when we choose to just not take control of our own selves, and it's a toughie. Oh man, being brutally honest, and you gotta do it. I mean, giving up drinking. I kept thinking that I could, well, I'll just take a sip of this. I'd be sick for 2 days. Well, I think I'll just do a little snort of Coke, No, can't do that. Well, I'll just have it. No, 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 no. Depression thing, overeating. I was 250 pounds. I'm 170 now. But to the point though is like, no, I had to say, no, you can't have 2 pieces of pie. One's really enough. No, 3 plates of food is plenty enough with ice cream and pie a la mode. Stop it, So, but you got to stand up for yourself. How bad do you really want it? Or do you just want to roll over? You know? Well, it's so much easier just to give in. But then, is it? Because you're miserable all the freaking time because you gave in. So is it really easier to give in? No, because then we haven't fixed ourselves and our problem still is there and the depression still wants to overtake us. And we haven't solved anything except we gave into whatever that temptation, be it drugs or alcohol or food or depression or whatever it is. We have agreed to allow it to take over us. Shame on us. We're better than that. We are. Millie Cow, I know you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. Why? Because you want to. That's how I know. Will it take you a while? We got all day. But I mean, I'm trying to be a little light of humor here, but it is a serious subject. And if y'all had seen me 10 years ago when I was going through some of this crap, not the same person as I am now. Just saying. Been come a long way, baby. So there is hope for every single one of us. Aurora, my caps. No, I tried to take control of the lucid dream. Okay. Flying to the meat. I love you too, my dear. You make the choices. So choose. Yes. Talking to Millie Cow. Absolutely. A cosmic convergence. Hi there. How are you? Millico, thank you for the encouragement, everybody. Listen, I bet you every single one of us in here has had some kind of similar experience with you, Millie Cow. And each and every one of us has had to reach deep down inside and just make up our minds and say no. So we're pulling for you. We are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in here sending you energy and sending the encouragement. So, Millie Cow, anytime you think that you're alone in this, trust me, my friend, you are not. And you're not the only one to come struggling out of a deep grave of depression and psychosis. And I'm not saying that you are, but I'm thinking to myself, my own psychosis, because that was my own psychosis of what put me in the depression, part of it anyway. So it's like, yes, we have choices. And start out small. One of the things that um, I worked with mentally handicapped and physically handicapped children and adults for many years. And one of the things that you have to do is you have to learn patience. But the thing is just because somebody's handicapped and they can't hold a spoon or a fork like you or me, they can hold a spoon or a fork the way they can. So in trying to teach people how to go around their handicap, there was a program that was very popular back in the 70s called Try Another Way. And so if a person tried to, somebody with CP, cerebral palsy, we always called it cerebral palsy. Here's an ink pen, and their hands and their knuckles are all like this, and you say, well, you got to pick up the pen to write with, and they can't even get their fingers to open right. So they go over here and they try to grab it like this, and they try to grab it like this. So when they get frustrated, you just put their hands and you calm them and you say, try another way. So if you can't do it this way, try another way. You'll figure it out. If you are something depresses you and you've tried this but it doesn't work, then try another way. You don't give up trying to figure out how to get out of a situation. When I was stuck in the woods and things like that, had I just given up, I'd still be dead as skeleton down in the swamp. But you have to try another way. Try another way to do this. Try to figure out another way. Don't give up. Well, I tried that, and that's all they get taught. Well, there's no other way. We're ever going to get this done. Try another way. As an engineer, we got a problem on the floor. This machine's acting up. Did you try that? Did you try this? Did you try that? Let's try this. Well, I don't know. We've never tried that before. But that's because we have to try another way to fix your machine. You've tried this, and this. And I go back over and check. Yeah, that's true. That's correct. Yeah, your measurements are right. Then we must try another way because you still have the problem. There's still something wrong, isn't there? Yes. Well, then let's keep going. Well, I don't know. The machine just broke. Okay. But in life, our machines get broke. Our brains get broke. And we have to try another way to get out of it. So if you tried something about, well, this doesn't work. The best thing I know about dieting is quit eating. What? Yeah. When people was like, well, what did you do to lose weight? I quit eating. What do you mean? Well, I was eating candy bars. I was eating this. I was eating double portions. I was doing this and I wasn't walking anywhere. I mean, I just started walking around the parking lot. A bunch of us at the plant, we would, when it was too hot outside or too cold, we would walk around, we would make laps inside the plant, um, you know, on our lunch break or on coffee break or whatever it was. You'd see people making laps in the plant. And collectively, we lost thousands of pounds. There was this little thing about losing weight in the plant and being healthy. We lost thousands of pounds between all of us who were participating simply by not eating during our coffee break, like a candy bar or anything, and walking around the plant, inside the plant. Well, I lost 20 pounds within like 2 weeks. It was like amazing. And so, but we all supported each other and like, you know what? Well, I used to sit at the table there and I'd drink 2 Cokes and eat 2 candy bars. Well, I quit eating the candy bars, so all that extra sugar and all that other, and walking instead of sitting, because we were sitting all day anyways working on the computer and drawings. So a little bit of change, all of a sudden I lost 30 pounds. And then I wasn't going out to lunch every day and going to the buffet and eating 2 or 3 plates of food and dessert. And so when I started just stop my eating habits and calm them and I was eating healthy, just way too much. All of a sudden I lost 40 pounds. And then I was almost 200 again, which I had never been 200 pounds. 185 was like heavy for me. And so I lost weight by stop eating or so much. I still had a piece of pie. I still had a candy bar, but I realized that a candy bar at first break and second break, too much, or whatever it was. So modify it. But I still say, well, you know what? I haven't had German chocolate cake in a while. And a couple of months ago, bought a German chocolate cake. And I just wanted to put my face in it and go, because I haven't had German chocolate in a while. Wow, it's really started to rain again. Okay, once in a while, look, get yourself a pint of ice cream and eat it and have fun and do not feel guilty. But if you're eating a pint of ice cream every night, you should feel guilty. I'm just saying, those kinds of things should be saved for, you know what? I did a really good job today. And this is what I used to do to cut down. I used to get a bowl of ice cream. Then somebody said, try this. And okay, it's portion size. Okay. So I would put ice cream in a cup. Still do. Put ice cream in a cup. And that's all I get. But I want more. Yeah, but you just had a cup of ice cream. Be satisfied. And after a while, I was like, you know what? That cup of ice cream really filled me up. I really don't want any more. And I became satisfied with that cup of ice cream. And now sometimes I just want 2 or 3 bites out of I just want the taste of the ice cream. I don't have to have a whole bowl. I just want the flavor and the taste and you know what I mean? So, but that's what encourages to eat so much and to overeat and to be overstimulated. So, but anyway, so with that said, though, my friends, I can't believe an hour and 32 minutes plus an hour and a half on Brian's show, 3 hours of YouTube in a row, almost in a row. So, my friends, I need to walk around. I've run out of stuff to drink. I rolled a cigarette, but I don't know where it's at, and I'd like to have a bowl. So, my friends, Aurora, everything takes self training and self discipline. And you can take a break. You don't have to be so hard on yourself that you don't have any fun. That's not the point. But you got to be strong enough as an individual to say, that's too much. Seriously, that's too much. Well, do you want to? No, I've had enough. Well, here, have another hit off this bowl. No, I've had enough. Well, have another drink. No, I've had enough. Come on now, have another piece of pie. Nah, two's my limit. Be smart enough and be strong enough to say, you know what? And Millie Cow, I'm on your side. Trust me. If you're still hanging out, have enough confidence and faith in yourself that you can get it done. Because, well, I don't know, I'm not strong enough to do this. If you convince yourself you're not, you won't be. There are times when I'm like, well, I'm too old to go kayaking. Not the hell I ain't. The canoe that I purchased, 17-footer, a 70-year-old man took it from Key West to Cuba and back, paddled it. I wouldn't do that at any age, but okay. So I've met other people who have inspired me at their ages, 70, 75, 80 years old. I'm only 67 right now. So, but they've made a choice. Look, How did you do it? Well, I just decided that I've always wanted to make the trip. I was retired and I had this canoe and I just decided I was going to train and do it. And he did. Is that manifestation? Well, he practiced and he worked. And I can't get on any river because some rivers are faster than others. But I know where my limits are. I know that I need to get my arm strength back up. I need to, yeah. We need to stay in practice. If you don't ride a horse for a while, jumping right back on is a little interesting. Um, if you haven't ridden a bicycle in a while, you never forget, but you're still a little wobbly that first timers, until you get comfortable again. So, in the things that you take over in your life, you have to be comfortable with. So, okay, I really wanted to go to town today and buy a pack of cigarettes. I didn't really wanted to. I would like drive to town now if I thought the store was open, but but no, I'm going to roll one, and I don't really need it. But my body wants it. My brain says I want a cigarette. No, you got to say no, and you got to stick to it. But my friends, um, uh, Millie Cow says I'm convinced my spirit just feels too tired to keep up with this world. I want to change that belief. Then just start from this moment on, Millie Cow, because every second you've heard me say this before. We right now just say, I refuse to go on like this. I choose to do differently. Millie Cow, just say to yourself and mean it. Tomorrow, I'm going to just feel better about the whole mess. I'm going to stop using the word depressed. I'm going to start using it more. I'm going to, something. And first is change your intent. From this point on, I'm tired of going through this anymore. I've had enough. Period. And whenever you start to slip back and go, remember, you said you were tired of this shit. Now, tired or not, you're going to roll over again or you're going to be strong. And you are strong. Millie Cow, if you've made it this far, you're strong enough to overcome the rest. Have faith in yourself, my friend. I do. I hope that you do as well. So with that, I'm going to close with the prayer. As always, Zach Man, Millie Cow been reading depression like it was due to a loss of personal power. Shamanic Journey is a great way. The Way of the Shaman by Michael, whatever. Truth Me. Yep. Gratitude helps from what is working in your life. Personal power is shamanic term, and we all lose it from time to time. Yep. 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 Millie Cow, you can see we're all on your side. So I say good night to all of you. Good night, Projects, Sky Falls, Michelle, Zachmon, Truth in Me, Zach, Millie Cow, David Castle, if you're still around. Who else did I miss? Anybody else out there that I missed? Blessings, my friends. And that's what I mean by as a family, we're getting stronger. You all, myself, Millie Cow needs a little encouragement. He needs to hear from us. He needs positive things in his life. Too many of us have spent our life with negatives all around us. And listen, my brother, you are stronger than you think. Yes, it's absolutely. And but the thing is convincing yourself that you believe it. Um, Truth in Me says, I will make you a snowman. Thank you. Blessings to Millie Cow. Truly blessed. Tree of Life. Thank you. Blessings all. And okay, so as always, and I think you do know that I mean it. I pray that each and every day, each and every one of you will accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. I continue to pray each and every day that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relatives and all of your relations will accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe and the strength, Millie Cow. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to accept and receive and continue to learn how to share the knowledge that you receive. Continue to share the knowledge and accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, the blessings of the universe. And thank you for sharing. Thank all of you for sharing your knowledge and continued support with all of the people and the folks within this group and other groups too. But from that said, with light rain on the roof at 1:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time here in South Georgia, I ask you all to continue to be safe, continue to be helpful to yourself and to others, and to continue with your journey and to keep it between the ditches, because on dirt roads in South Georgia, when it rains, you don't want to end up in the ditch. My friends, I do love you. And thank you, Cosmic Hugs. And until next time, be good to yourselves.